I'd like to go down memory lane. In 2014, when I was president of Ghana, during, let me say, what we call my first coming, my education minister was Naana Agyeman, who currently is my vice president. And as education minister, she led the negotiation of an agreement with the World Bank, which was called the Secondary Education Improvement Program, the SAPE. Now, under the SAPE, it had different components. But I remember one of the major components was scholarships for brilliant but needy girls, support for girls in maths, education, and technology. But a component of the loan was meant for a pilot program in supplying girls in school with sanitary products. It was then, for the first time, I got acquainted with the challenges that our girl child faces in school during their usual menstrual cycle. And it was then I learned that for many of them, for a certain number of days during the month, they refrain from going to school because they are afraid of soiling themselves and being the laughing stock of their peers. And so that pilot was undertaken, but I remember when we tried to pass it through Parliament, for the first time, it sounded very strange. And for those who were in Parliament at the time, they'll remember our opposition bench called it the pad loan, if you remember. And a lot of mockery was made that a government will go to take a loan to supply sanitary pads for girls, because at the time, this challenge was not very well understood, even by members of Parliament. Today, I'm happy that everybody accepts that this is the right thing to do, because it is a natural process of creation. The menstrual cycle our daughters go through every month is just their identity as women. And God created them to go through that so that they can exercise their reproductive function of the human race, so that we can reproduce ourselves. And that is why every month they have to go through that inconvenience. And the least we can do is to support them and assist them with what they need to be able to go through it with dignity and with hygiene. And so I'm happy that today we've reached this point. Everybody accepts that we should invest national resources in order that our girl children can have confidence to be able to go to school without fearing that they will become the laughingstock of their friends. And so, like I said, mothers, you don't need to give your children buoy anymore. We will supply them with the proper sanitary products to be able to go to school. Thank you very much. Having said that, I wish to extend the greetings of Naana Agyeman to all of you. I spoke to her yesterday, and I told her we were going to miss her at this event because this is a program that is very dear to her. She said to say hello to all of you and to say she's recuperating and catching a bit of rest. She's very well, and that soon she will join us, to continue to prosecute the reset agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, today we take a bold step forward, not just in education policy or healthcare, but in hope for the girl child. Today is a message to every girl in Ghana that you matter, that your dreams matter, and your future is worth every investment that we can make in it. I stand before you to officially launch the National Sanitary Pad Distribution Program, a promise we made and are proud to have fulfilled. This initiative is more than just the distribution of sanitary pads. It is a clear declaration that no girl in Ghana should miss school because of her menstrual period. Far too many of our daughters, our nieces and sisters have missed out on education, not because they lack the academic intelligence and the flair or the will or the ambition, but simply because they lack access to proper sanitary products. Research has shown that girls can miss up to 5 school days each month, amounting to nearly 40 days of schooling a year. This is not just a statistic. It represents a young girl falling behind in class, losing her confidence, and struggling to catch up because of what is a natural biological process. This reality is unacceptable. In Ghana, where we aim for progress, equity, and justice, this must not continue. Menstruation should never be a reason for exclusion or shame. It should not be a barrier to education or self-achievement. And that is why this program exists, to remove one of the silent yet powerful obstacles standing in the way of our girl-child dreams. We are acting today to restore hope to the girls who thought they had to sit out for several days every month, hope to parents who worried about how to provide these essential products to their daughters, and hope to a nation that wants every child to rise regardless of their background or their gender. This program is a multi-ministerial collaboration involving 3 ministries: the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, and the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning. It also aligns with our national goals and global commitments, particularly the SDG 4, which says quality education, and SDG 5, which talks about gender equality. But beyond that, it is rooted in something more profound. It is rooted in our values as Ghanaians, our belief in fairness, in dignity, and equal opportunity for all our children, whether they are boys or girls. So today I say to every girl child in Ghana, you are not alone, you are not forgotten, and you are not invisible. We see you, we believe in your potential, and we will stand with you every month, every term, and every year. To our parents, I say, you have carried this burden for too long, having to choose between books, food, fees, and sanitary products. Help is here, and help is here to stay. This is not a one-time gesture. This is a sustained policy commitment, and we will expand it with your support and your feedback. To our teachers, headmistresses, and headmasters, you are on the front line of education. You see the tears of our girls. You note their absence from school, and you note their struggles. Now you will see a transformation in our girls. They will show up to school with confidence. They will come to class with dignity, and they'll be able to focus on the lessons that you teach. This program is for you because avoidable challenges should not undermine the efforts that you make to bring up these children. To our development partners and civil society actors, I thank you for raising your voices. I thank you for standing with our girls. This program is proof that when we listen, when we collaborate, and when we act, we can bring about real change. To the private sector and our traditional leaders, I call on you to join us, partner with us. Let us build the local capacity for domestic sanitary pad production. Let us create jobs while keeping our girls in school. Let this become not just a social program, but a growing national enterprise. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing more than launching a policy. We're nurturing a movement that protects the future of our girls, a movement that celebrates their resilience, a movement that finally tells them in action and not just in words that our girls, you belong in the classroom, you belong in the science laboratories, you belong on the sports field, you belong in leadership, and you belong in Ghana's future that we are building together. So let us walk forward not with pity but with purpose. Let us walk forward not with shame but with pride. And let us walk forward not with fear but with hope. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, it is my honor and privilege to officially launch the National Sanitary Pad Distribution Program, a promise made and a promise kept, a challenge embraced, and a bright future for every girl in our dear country, Ghana. May God bless our girls. May God bless all parents. May God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. Thank you very much for your kind attention.